Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick. Today, we're celebrating. Well, we're talking about celebrating. We're talking about celebratory cigars, and we're talking about celebratory cigars because we're coming into the holidays, and I know everybody's going to be, breaking out the good stuff and celebrating the holidays and Christmas and whatever holidays you happen to celebrate. That's up to you. Maybe you're not doing anything at all. Maybe you don't have a family and you're at best going to be at Cracker Barrel celebrating with the waiter who is desperately waiting to get done with their shift so they can get home to their family. I don't know. If that's the case, I feel for you and let me know, and we can at least FaceTime and smoke or something. I mean, that sounds very sad, and I don't know why I went there. But anyway, today, this is what happens when you have your calendar built for the rest of this month, and then you remember, oh shit, I still have to get an episode out for this Friday. What am I going to do? And so here we are. So today I will be smoking the Aganorsa Leaf La Validacion Habano Robusto. It is a 5x54 cigar with an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, a Nicaraguan binder, and Nicaraguan filler. And, I do like the Aganorsa Leaf cigars. They're so good. And I haven't had this one in a while, and I can't say as I've ever had it in the Robusto size, so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. So, the hell is that noise? Oh, I guess somebody's actually getting their lawn taken care of at this time. It's fucking December. If your lawn still needs care in December, something is going on. Like, I'm sorry, my grass is done for the year. Done. So, I don't know who out there is getting something addressed, but somebody is getting some sort of lawn thing addressed, and hopefully it doesn't come through the microphone. Anyway, it's time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by, that was me with a shiny object moment. You guys, it's like, shiny object, look over there. Anyway. The official cut is brought to you guys by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2, guyscigars.com. 2 Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows 2 Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So please go to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2, guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. Boy, that is really annoying. I do not know what is going on out there. But I don't know if somebody's trimming a tree. It kind of sounds like a chainsaw or some sort of a saw going on. I don't know what is happening, but boy, it's irritating the piss out of me. Every time I think this is a good time for me to sit down and record an episode, that's when something happens to happen. I don't know what it is. There always is a lawn care business or somebody's going to do lawn care when I record. Have you guys noticed this? It's a constant theme. And I would have thought in mid-December I wouldn't have to worry about lawn care, but evidently I am wrong. So, again, hopefully you guys don't hear this. I'm going to edit it, so theoretically you probably won't. It's just going to be me complaining, but whatever. So, cold draw. I don't know if I got enough of a cut. I'm going to do a V-cut now. I didn't have a great draw through that. And that's the purpose of the cold draw, by the way. Everybody does it for this flavor note and that flavor note. There we go. It's a little better. It's in order to get a draw and to test the draw of the cigar to see, do you have a decent draw on the cigar? So that's why you do it. But I digress. Anyway, while I light the cigar, let's go ahead and hear the greatest commercial you've ever heard.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so. They can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars uses authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard.
Yeah.
So we have the cigar lit, and we are going. Nice little bit of peppery spice right off the kick. But given the fact that it's a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco in this, that's kind of what I would have expected. But nope, we're doing good. So anyway, as I was saying, I want to talk about celebratory cigars today. Now, we are approaching the holidays, and so some people might want to smoke something a little fancier. I will admit, I had a little bit of a list, small, very short list going. And then I was like, I'm going to ask Chat GPT for some assistance on this. And I figured it might be fun to see what a robot says is a celebratory cigar. And it kind of disappointed me. It's obvious that it skimmed a bunch, which is what I would have expected AI to do. It skimmed a bunch of articles and pulled together, a list of shit that, it pulled from different articles. I did ask a few strategic questions and kind of get a little bit better answer. So let's start off with my list, first of all, of celebratory cigars. So this is one, look, I want to say right up front, and I was going to save this for the bottom line, but right up front, a celebratory cigar is any cigar that you enjoy with the people you enjoy or doing something that you enjoy, at a moment to commemorate something. It can be a $3 cigar. It can be a $30 cigar. It can be a $300 cigar. It doesn't matter. Price point, I don't feel like necessarily makes a cigar a celebratory cigar or not. It's all about smoking that cigar at a time of celebration. And so, I'm kind of putting that out there just in advance. So, but what I'm saying here is obviously smoke what you like. But what I'm saying here is, for the purposes of this conversation, maybe you're looking to splurge a little bit. Maybe you're looking to spend a little extra. Now, I will say, before I get into my list, that I did receive an email this morning from twoguyscigars.com. And they were promoting that they have the Fuente and Padron collaboration. It's a 2-pack of cigars on sale right now. They only had, at the time that I received the email, they said in the email they had 45 packs of 2. So it's very possible that at the time I'm actually recording this, they're gone. Which, if that's the case, I'm sure Dave is pretty happy because, they were not. It's not a cheap date. It's a $400 pack. 2 cigars, $400. It's the extraordinarily limited Fuente and Padron collaboration cigars. So, the price point makes sense to me, unlike some of the other ones that I've seen come through with the Chat GPT, which I'm not probably going to get into those. Some of them make sense. Some of them just don't. And so, anyway, that's one option for you if you're looking for some very rare celebratory cigars. Now, for me, when I want something to celebrate, something really good, I look for something that A, I really enjoy, B, yeah, the price point maybe is a little higher than what I normally give myself. I do splurge a little on the celebratory cigar. And C, I would say that it's something that, for whatever reason, I don't smoke it on the regular. That could be because of price point. That could also be because of rarity. Maybe it's a limited edition thing that you're sitting on and you've been waiting for that right moment to smoke it. Well, maybe this is the moment. So, anyway. So, for me and my list, I have Atabey, I have Byron. I got a little cute, and I said the Perdomo Champagne just because of the name. I kind of feel like that cigar kind of has New Year's on lockdown at this point. It's kind of the official cigar of New Year's, with the name. One cigar that was that I haven't smoked a whole lot of this year. I don't believe. I'd have to go back over my list, which that's coming up, by the way, guys. The first episode in January is going to be Cigar Pulpit by the Numbers 2024. I'm going to go over every single cigar that I smoked in 2024. We're going to break it down by company. What company do I smoke the most? I mean, we're going to get nuts. We're going to get all up in the details. So we're going to get nerdy about it. But one cigar I haven't smoked a whole lot of this year just because there's been other things, but it is one that I like to, that I would say is kind of a celebratory cigar, is the Aladino Corojo Reserva. I've had it, obviously, this year, but that is not, I don't feel like that's an everyday smoke. I mean, price point wise, maybe for some people it is. It's not a $50 cigar. It's definitely an affordable celebratory cigar. Let's put it that way. I like the Ashton ESG for a celebratory cigar as well. Davidoff Late Hour is a really good celebratory, kind of cigar. There's some really good ones that I would say need to be considered. But that was kind of me. Let's get into what Chat GPT had to say. So they say that the best celebratory cigars often depend on personal taste, the occasion, and your budget. And they kind of give some suggestions based upon a couple of different criteria. So first they go mild to medium-bodied cigars. And they give 3 examples. So under the mild to medium-bodied cigars, they list the Monte Cristo White series, a creamy and smooth with hints of cedar and coffee. They list the Arturo Fuente Hemingway Short Story, sweet and slightly spicy with a perfect balance. And they list the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real, subtle notes of leather, coffee, and nuts. All perfectly fine cigars. The Monte Cristo White series is actually the first cigar, that I had when I was the one that I purchased when I was out in Vegas and in 2018, and kind of kicked off this love of cigars for me. But I wouldn't, maybe it's just me. None of those are necessarily my celebratory cigar. But then again, this is what ChatGPT said, and then also I want to reiterate, if those are your celebratory cigars, that's awesome. Celebrate however you want to celebrate. They just they're not mine. But let's get into medium body. So when you move from mild to medium, it then brings up the Padron 1964 Anniversary Series, which they describe as a rich Nicaraguan classic with notes of cocoa and coffee. That one I'll give you. A 20, the 64 and the 26? I get the numbers mixed up. Those are good cigars. Price point-wise, they're a little higher. They're not ones that I would smoke on the regular, but they're good. And so, yeah, I would say that the Padron 64, well, yeah, it literally says it in the title. I'm talking about, 64, and then the other one, I think it's 26, the Anniversary Series. Very good cigars. I would say that that's a good recommendation. The Davidoff Nicaragua Toro, complex flavors of spice, earth, and citrus. I would agree with that. I'm not much of a Davidoff smoker. I like the late hour. The normal Davidoff cigars tend to be a little bit too light for me. They're not. I don't get what I'm looking for out of them. However, the Davidoff Nicaragua is the other one that I would say is my favorite of the normal, Davidoff offerings, other than the late hour. So, yeah, I would agree with that as well. And then they have the Oliva Serie V Melanio, well-rounded with hints of chocolate, leather, and spice. Very good cigar. I don't know if I would necessarily put it in the category of celebratory cigar, but then again, I guess depending upon where you're purchasing it, price point wise, it might be a little higher than your average bear, and so maybe it would classify for some folks as a celebratory cigar. All I know is all three of those stellar suggestions. I agree with all three of those, and I have no issue there. Now, let's get into full-bodied cigars. Now, the first one they list off, I'm not going to, because it is a Cuban cigar, and I am not in the position where I want to be promoting Cuban cigars for whatever reason. You want to know more about that? Go back to my rants about Cigar Aficionado naming a Cuban cigar as the #1 cigar of the year in a previous year. I'm not in the position to be promoting that. But they have two other ones here under full-bodied cigars. They have the Liga Privada #9, bold with dark chocolate, espresso and peppery spice. I don't mind a Liga, but I kind of feel, man, I don't want this to get. You know what? Fuck it. Who cares? There are better options than the current Liga Privada #9 these days. You can get selections from Foundation Cigars that I feel like are better than the Liga #9. You can get some selections from a guy that I don't really talk about a whole lot for whatever reason. Steve Saka over at Dunbarton and Trust, or Tobacco and Trust, or Trust and Tobacco, whatever, Dunbarton. They have offerings that I feel like are comparable, if not better, than the Liga Privada #9. And also, quite frankly, I had some real issues with the Liga the last handful of times that I've smoked it. Construction issues. So I don't know if maybe they're having some issues with, and if it were just one time, I wouldn't even bring it up. If it were 2 times, I probably wouldn't bring it up. But I would say that it's to the point now that I've had it happen frequently enough that I'm not actively, I walk by the Liga selection at the store now. I don't really even pay it any mind. So I would say I probably, for those of you who like it, that's awesome. I'm glad for you. I hope it is a well-constructed cigar. I'm just saying it's not necessarily one that I would go for. But the Arturo Fuente Opus X, a rich, rare, and complex cigar, perfect for milestones. I would agree with that. I mean, there's all the different varieties. I'm not a Opus X nerd to where I can tell you, this one versus the the eye of the pink hooker's thigh or whatever it is. I mean, that's just not my thing. But I can tell you that they are very well constructed, very good cigars. So the Arturo Fuente Opus X. Now they have a category here under budget friendly, and this is where we get into some other stuff. We have budget friendly celebratory cigars. I would have put the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real into this category. But they had it just straight in the regular category, which is fine. I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to designate it as a budget-friendly cigar. But they did. I'm having to keep this guy lit. So under budget-friendly for celebratory cigars, Chat GPT recommends the Perdomo Champagne 10th Anniversary. It says it's an accessible cigar with a smooth and sweet profile. I mean, yes. I don't know if I would necessarily go so far as accessible in terms of saying that like any cigar smoker can smoke it. If you are a very mild cigar smoker, I would not. I'd be a little trepidatious jumping into the Perdomo Champagne. It's got a lot of strength to it, a lot of nicotine power, and I think it's I think sometimes it's under. Oh, I'm having to adjust. I think it's sometimes it doesn't get the credit that it deserves in terms of its strength. Although I think it's a 7 on the strengthometer, so at least the folks over at the Cigar Authority recognize that the Perdomo 10th has some power to it, the champagne. So next up on that list, we have the My Father Flor de las Antillas. It's an award-winning and affordable cigar with notes of nutmeg and pepper. It has been a very long time since I smoked it. I can't speak to it, so good for them for being on this list. Then we have the Rocky Patel Edge Habano. It's a full-flavored and balanced cigar with a great price point. Again, been a minute since I've had that. Can't really speak to it. Sure, there we go. Now, under special occasion cigars, they do list the Ashton ESG as a luxurious and creamy cigar with nutty flavors. They list the Alec Bradley Prensado, a rich, award-winning choice for memorable events. So then from there, I asked Chat GPT. I said, let's up the price point. Let's up the price point a little bit. What have you got that's a little higher dollar? And it spat out some other cigars to me. I did opt to clear out some of them, mostly due to, it was either it was a Cuban, or the price point was just fucking ridiculous. Did you guys know that Gurkha has $1,000 cigar? This was news to me. I had no idea that Gurkha had the fucking balls to put out $1,000 cigar. That was one thing that did surprise me. I was very, very shocked to see that they, of all people, put out $1,000 cigar, which, hey, good for you if anybody's going to buy it. But, I don't even, whatever. We're going to move on. I feel like I'm shitting on everybody today. I swear I'm in a good mood. I'm not meaning to shit on people. So, anyway, under the category of ultra luxury cigars, of the 5 that they gave me, I only kept 1 in for the show because the others were either, like I said, Cubans or like 500 to 1,000. There was like a Davidoff something or other, Oro or Orso, whatever. It was like $500 to $1,000. Then there was this Gurkha that was $1,000, and I'm like, if anybody's paying $1,000 for a cigar, they're getting ripped off. I'm sorry. It may be the best cigar ever rolled, but come on. So we have the Byron 19th Century Grand Poemas, and has a price point of anywhere, according to Chat GPT, it has a price point anywhere between $33 and $50 per cigar. I don't know where they're pulling those numbers. So, you know how they have the little AI spiders that crawl all over the web and pull all this information. So, for what it's worth, that's what they found. It describes it as aged for 5 years post-roll. This luxurious cigar boasts creamy, nutty, and leathery notes with a hint of sweetness. I will go so far as to say that when I went to the Hill for my birthday, and I was looking for a birthday cigar, it was the Byron that I went for. It was the Byron that I ended up picking up. So for what it's worth, I chose to use Byron for my celebratory cigar. They then went and gave me a category called Limited Edition and Collectible Cigars. Now, under this, I left all 5, and we'll start with the Padron 50th Anniversary. They say that this cigar can be found anywhere between $40 and $100 per cigar. Again, I don't know where. I'm just, relaying the price point that they're saying it comes in at. And they say that it was created to celebrate Padron's legacy. It offers a velvety profile of cocoa, coffee, and spice with exceptional craftsmanship. The 60th anniversary should be coming out very, very soon, or at least should be. I don't know exactly. I mean, it feels like it's been talked about for a while. I know they took orders for it at PCA, and that was back in what? Was that back in April or March? Or when was that? Back this spring. So for what it's worth, the Padron 60th should be coming soon. After that, we have the Davidoff Winston Churchill Limited Edition coming in at between $50 and $100 per cigar. And it is a tribute to Winston Churchill. The cigar delivers refined notes of oak, coffee, and spices. I've had that before, and while it's not, while I really much appreciate the late hour a lot more, I would say that this is definitely also a very good cigar. And that's the thing. When I say that Davidoff tends to be not my flavor profile, it's not that it's not my flavor profile. It's the strength profile. It tends to be a little on the weaker side for me, but I will say they're good cigars. So, look, I will, I guess it all depends on what you're looking for. So there's that. Then at number 8. The next one up. It was number 8, but I deleted, like I said, 4 of the 5 from the first category. Is the Cohiba Spectre. Comes in between $90 and $120 per cigar. It's a blend of rare and aged tobaccos from the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and Honduras. And it says that the cigar is silky, luxurious, and unforgettable. Never smoked it. Love the packaging. I've seen packaging for it before. And I know I talked to Sean. Is it Sean Williams with Cohiba? I think this was a long time back. We had him on the show, and we talked about it. And it's a cool project, but it's not one that I've smoked before, so I can't speak to it. Next up is the Plasencia Almafuerte 6.2 Hexagon, coming in between $30 and $40 per cigar. It says that it's a unique hexagon pressed cigar combining bold, full-bodied flavor with premium Nicaraguan tobacco. I do enjoy Plasencia, and I will say that sometimes I don't smoke them. I feel like I just said this on the show not too long ago. I don't smoke them all that terribly much, mostly due to the price point. They have priced themselves at just over my comfortable point for regular smoking. But when I want something fancy, when I want something a little special, Plasencia is definitely a quality cigar for that. So I would agree that that's a good one. Then finally, we have the Avo 22 Limited Edition. It comes in between $60 and $120 per cigar. It lists it as a rare collector's piece with smooth, rich, and well-bodied flavors. It sounds like it's a limited edition thing. I don't know how easily you're going to even track it down. I probably should have deleted that one off the list. Didn't, but whatever. It is what it is. But anyway, going back to my original point, this is just some of the cigars that you might consider for celebratory cigars. I'm curious as to what your celebratory cigars are. So, let me know. Call the hotline, area code 863-874-0000. Let me know. What are you going to be smoking for Christmas or New Year's? What do you pair with your celebratory cigars? Like, do you have like a Christmas traditional pairing that you do? Let me know. Let me know what you're going to be smoking for the holidays. Let me know what your holiday selection is going to be. Realistically, I don't even know if I'm going to smoke on Christmas. I've got my son this year, and so I won't be going to any lounges, and I don't know. We'll see. And I don't know if I want to freeze out in the garage on Christmas night. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe we'll, whatever. We'll figure it out. But anyway, my bottom line, I want to reiterate one more time, is that a celebratory cigar is a cigar that you enjoy and that you enjoy it with the people you love, or with, to commemorate an occasion that you really want to remember, and that sort of thing. So, it can be whatever it happens to be. It's just, I wanted to go over some that if you were feeling fancy and wanted to splurge a little, you had the option. So that's that. I have been very slow smoking this Aganorsa because I'm obviously talking. So I'm getting some nice peppery notes and some like wood, maybe cedary notes off of it. It's a very, very good cigar. I am not giving it the due credit that I should by doing it on a solo show where I really can't smoke it all that well. But it is very good. So let's do this now. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So guys, I'm gonna do something a little different. I have found myself in a very strange twist of fate, given the fact that I've just in the last 2 months put out an episode, just motherfucking YouTube. I found myself the last couple of days very busy with work stuff, and so what I've been doing is propping up my iPad and watching YouTube stuff that I have in my saved list while I'm working. And so there are two things that I want to highlight that they may be available elsewhere. I haven't looked, but I watch them on YouTube. So it kind of feels a little wrong to be highlighting shows on YouTube, but given the fact that they're hiding mine, but whatever. I mean, I guess at least somebody's benefiting from the platform. So first up, it's one that I think I've talked about before, but I've spent a little time back on it, is Hot Ones. The show where the gentleman host, Sean, he sits with, famous folks, and they have the 10 hot wings in front of them in different sauces of increasing spice level. And I just love that concept so much. It's just such an easy to understand, but at the same time very humorous concept. And you sit and you watch these folks eat these chicken wings and just lose their mind, while at the same time having to answer these very intricate, detailed questions that the host presents them with. And so it's a really interesting interview show. They've interviewed so many people, so check them out. It's put out by a company called First We Feast, that I guess was owned by BuzzFeed, but now has been sold to George Soros or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, but yeah, First We Feast puts this out, and it's called Hot Ones. Just find one that you're interested in that person, and you'll get the concept really quickly. Some of the episodes are funnier than others due to the way the person reacts. The one with Gordon Ramsay was really amusing. If you like Bad Friends, the podcast Bad Friends, Bobby Lee did one, and I won't spoil it, but it turned into a mess. And so, there's some really amusing episodes of Hot Ones, and so I've been watching that lately. And then the other channel on YouTube I wanted to highlight, and it's definitely more of a nerd channel. I'll give it that. So if you're not into the nerdy stuff, you're probably not going to care. But this channel, it's called Secret Galaxies. Secret Galaxy, I think. But they do deep dives into various topics. Sometimes it's a toy line, but they've done a whole lot of deep dives into TV shows and perhaps movies. And they'll highlight like the behind the scenes making of, maybe the drama of, maybe it'll be what killed this show, and they get into, oh, this is why this show went off the air, and that kind of thing. Some of them are really interesting. They've done a lot with the Saturday morning cartoons of the 80s and, various things like that. But the one that I watched the other day, it was probably about 27 minutes long. So, I mean, it was a solid half an hour worth of content. And it was the history of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And they went through and detailed the creation of and the birth of, and how the show started off on a UHF channel in Minnesota, and then from there went on to Comedy Central, and was very vital in the early days of Comedy Central. And then from there, they talk about the movie and how that was not really that was a bomb until eventually home video helped it out. And how basically it just kind of kept bouncing around. And it's they actually call it the show that wouldn't die, because it kept getting canceled and then kept getting renewed somewhere else. And then eventually, like Joel Joel, I can't remember, Hodgkins is what's in my name, but I know that's not right. He started doing Kickstarters to do future seasons and everything. And eventually it's gotten like 14 seasons. And they even comment in the episode about how at the beginning of researching this, the host was like, I felt like I had seen a lot of MST3K. And after researching it, I realized I've probably only seen maybe at best about 20-25% of MST3K. And I would say the same. I used to love Mystery Science Theater 3000. And would watch it when it was on Comedy Central. And now that I realize that Comedy Central really only accounts for about 5 to 6 seasons of the total 14, of which I don't know if I've seen even all of the Comedy Central ones. It's like, dear God, there's so much MST3K out there that I haven't watched. So for what it's worth, if you're into Mystery Science Theater 3000, that's a really good episode to check out. But if you're just into pop culture in general and want to, dig around, like I said, there's a lot of stuff on toys and various things on that channel that may or may not interest you. But if you are into TV shows and movies and kind of that nerdy side of pop culture, there's some fun stuff on there to check out as well. So Secret Galaxies on YouTube, and then First We Feast / Hot Ones. Those are my 2 recommendations there. So, now that we've done the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, let's go ahead and jump into this. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke, and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars, can't clip our wings. And guys, we are going to be sitting down with Jonas Santana of Blackbird Cigars before the end of this year to kind of catch up, recap on 2024, look ahead to 2025. I know that they've been really pushing the box press version of the Crow, which is the red banded cigar that they've got. So I hear really great things. Hope to smoke one soon. So I would say that is definitely something that you guys should be looking out for before the end of this year. We are to that point. I guess I probably could also, well, you know what? I'll get into future episodes here in a little bit. But first, let's do the actual Blackbird segment. So since we're talking about celebrations today, I wanted to talk about the biggest one ever. So in October of 1971, the Shah of Iran, then Persia, by the name of Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. So forgive me if I've butchered that, although he's probably dead by now. But anyway, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, he threw the most expensive party in history to celebrate the 2500th anniversary of the Persian monarchy. So this was a 3-day bash held in the ancient ruins of Persepolis. A massive tent city of 50 luxurious pavilions were constructed. 18 tons of food were flown in, and there was a 5-hour, 18-course feast, including dishes like quail eggs stuffed with caviar and roast peacock. I have no idea what roast peacock tastes like, but apparently the people at this party do. There were over 600 invitees, including emperors, kings, presidents, and sheiks from around the world. Queen Elizabeth II was amongst the dignitaries that went to this event. The event, and this is where it is a little weird. Like, it says that it's estimated to have cost somewhere between. Here's the thing. It's a pretty big gap because they say it's estimated to cost somewhere between $22 million and $200 million. So I would feel like maybe estimators need to estimate a little closer, get that range a little tighter. But the event was controversial though, because it showcased the disconnect between the ruling class of Persia and the everyday people of Iran. The discontent continued, it festered, and ultimately was part of the fuel for the Iranian Islamic Revolution of 1979. So I guess if you're gonna party, be like Mohammad Reza Pahlavi and Blackbird Cigars and don't let anybody clip your wings. I mean, if you're gonna do it big, I mean, whatever.
Guess what, motherfucker?
It's time for 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week. And if I haven't named off enough cigars for you today, now I'm going to name off 3 that I've smoked and enjoyed this week. So let's go back in the list here a little bit and take a look at what I have been smoking. I feel like there's been a few things. I'm definitely smoking I'm in a bit of a, I don't want to say a rut. But I have definitely been smoking a lot of my go-tos lately. So I'm having to dig through to try and find some stuff that maybe I don't normally, or that I haven't mentioned lately. I did have a Perdomo 10th anniversary Maduro in the Epicure size. I'll say this. That's not, I tend to go more for the sun-grown. The Maduro I don't go that way too terribly often sometimes. But man, that Maduro is such a good cigar, and I should go that direction probably a little bit more frequently than I do. Fantastic cigar. And I absolutely love that blue and gold band on that one. The blue in that just pops in the most incredible way. And Mike Brinker and I know that when you light fire to it, the flame is blue. So we got that going. Then from there, I had the this is one that I smoked on the meetup, the Zoom meetup with the other stars or boners the other night. I had the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua, the Midnight Twist. That's the barber pole version of the Reserva Real Nicaragua. Great cigar. I enjoy it. It's got a little bit of something different. Hard to put my finger on, but it's a very good cigar. And I really like the Nicaragua, so, you give me a variation on that, I'm probably going to like that too. So that was a very good cigar. Next up, I smoked the, you know what? Here's one that I smoked just yesterday while doing my deliveries. And it smoked wonderful. It had great flavor. Draw or construction on it was great. Draw on it was great. Smoke production on it was great. And price point was definitely great. And it was the AJ Fernandez New World Toro. And I it's one that for whatever reason, I always tend to overlook it in the humidor. And I didn't this time. And I'm glad I didn't. And I'll have to remember it, for when I'm going and grabbing those more affordably priced cigars. Because, for the price point, it's a great smoke. So I did enjoy that. Anyway, so now let's discuss socials. So I am available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit, I'm on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. You can get in there. I'm on Twitter/X. I am on Rumble. You can watch me on Rumble if you're into the video side. Head on over to Rumble. Because, despite the fact that I'm giving YouTube promotion in the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, I can't guarantee how long I'm going to be on YouTube. So make sure you head over to Rumble and sign up on there. And then I am on YouTube. You can still watch me there as long as I'm there. And, Spotify video. If you're into video and you wish to watch that way, Spotify, I am now doing the Spotify videos, so you can watch the videos there. Otherwise, that's the socials. Oh, Ask the Boys or Ask the Pulpit. You got to get the calls in. I have no calls, and I don't know if you guys just haven't been calling or if there's something wrong with the app. If there's something wrong with the app, you guys got to let me know this stuff, because I do not know. But as of right now, I have no. I have no calls. So I would say that you guys got to call the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. That's area code 863-874-0000. Let me know those celebratory cigars. Let me know what you're smoking for the holidays. And we'll kind of go from there. And then also, one last little bit of business before we call this show a show. This is the December 13th episode. You have until end of day. Right? You know what? I'll just say midnight. Realistically, we'll just go midnight between Sunday, December 15th, Monday, December 16th, to get your nominations in for the Pulpit Parishioners Cigars of the Year. Head on over to the Parishioners group. I have a pinned post in the Parishioners group where you can comment on that and list off whatever cigars you want to nominate. Go over to my Instagram page and find the post. It's a little bit back, but I don't I don't have a ton. Yeah, you'll find it. On the Instagram page. Find the post, comment on that, tell me your nominations, or if you're not a social media person, you can just email me at Nick, N-I-C-K, at cigarpulpit.com. That's Nick at cigarpulpit.com. You can email me your nominees for the cigars of the year. And then once the nominations are closed, which again, they will close at midnight in between Sunday and Monday, at that point, I will start generating up the ballot, and we will make an announcement and get the voting going, and then we can figure out what you guys liked this year. So anyway, get those nominations in and be watching for the ballot to come out. So, final thought on my Aganorsa leaf. I do enjoy the cigar a lot. I am finding this one is a little tough on the draw. I don't know if it's the cigar, if there's something in there, or what. It feels really rather hard. I don't know if it's. It's a little. It's winter, so maybe it's a little drier than it should be. I don't know, but I am finding the draw on it to be a little tight. All in all, though, I do enjoy it. It does have that nice cedary, peppery kind of component to it going on. And I will say, even with that tight draw, the burn line on this thing has been ridiculously good. It is still kicking off some smoke. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but it is still kicking off a light wispy smoke to it, and it's good. I just I would have liked a little looser draw would have been preferable for me, but for what it's worth, it's been really good. So, another fine cigar from the folks at Aganorsa Leaf. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for... Oh, that's right. I was going to preview some upcoming shows for you, wasn't I? So, like I said, Jonas Santana from Blackbird Cigars is going to be joining me here before the end of this year. And Rene Castaneda from Villiger Cigars, he's going to be joining me before the end of this year as well. You know that Noah and I are going to get together and kind of cover the state of deaths in 2024. You know, we did that last year. We're going to talk about who died in 2024, and we're going to do our 2025 death predictions. So you get to find out how good we were on our predictions for 2024, and then we'll kind of put together our list for 2025. Somewhere in there, I will be going over I'll be touching on the Cigar Aficionado Top 25 at some point in there. And then, like I said, on Friday, January 3rd, that is one I'm looking forward to. That is going to be 2024 by the numbers, and that's when I go over the massive list of cigars that I have been keeping in my phone since January 1st, detailing every single cigar that I have smoked this year. And I'm going to break that down. I'm going to give you totals. I'm going to break it down by companies. I'm going to break it down, maybe what day of the week I tend to smoke more frequently than others, or more than others. I mean, maybe there's a day where I don't smoke much at all. Maybe a specific day of the week that I don't really do much smoking, and maybe there's a day of the week that I do a lot of smoking. I don't know, but I'm gonna drill into my smoking habits on that episode, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for putting up with me today. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody, stay safe, stay smoky. Take it easy, everyone. Oh, and since it is Friday the 13th, if you see a random dude in a hockey mask, run away.